Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, g'day, YouTube and citizens of YouTube. I thought I would do what many have done before me, and that is share with you, my little journey on towards my journey towards my surgery next week, which is the 28th of October. So today is what is today? The 19th. Today is the 19th of October. So next Friday, the 28th of October, 2016, I'm having arthroscopic surgery on my right knee to repair a pretty defined, to say the least, tear in my meniscus. So the meniscus is like the shock absorber mechanism in the knee, like it's between the tibia and the fibia, or the thigh bone and the shin bone that's behind the kneecap, and it sort of absorbs all the shock from running and lifting and stuff. And what happens is that that it's like a crescent shape, or like a moon shape, or a wedge of lemons, or oranges, or an orange if you're into oranges. So basically I've torn it from one point right through to the other point. So I think it's called a vertical tear. So it's a vertical tear, and it can tear many different ways, angles and whatever. Now this tear apparently may have sort of stretched or gone through into my ACL. So if you want to explore meniscus further, you can do that on YouTube. Or ACL, again, there's heaps of, there's lots of people who have shared this sort of a video. So hopefully, in amongst all of them, you might get to see me. Hi. What happened was about back in 2013, I started getting sort of knee aches and pain, especially sort of squatting and lunging. Excuse me. Squatting and lunging and, sleeping and wanting to stretch my legs and locking and clicking and my knee jamming. But I sort of pushed through it, ignored it, pushed through it. Anyway, so about 5 weeks ago, or was it 6? We'll say 5. I was frantically sort of bouncing around in the kitchen. I was baking bread, and I was running short on time to get to the station to pick up my partner from the station. So I was really, frantic, going, coming, and whatever, going to and from. And then I sort of leaned forward in a slight lunge action to open up the bottom drawer. Now, I'm looking at that drawer right now. If only it had been different. But anyway. And I heard a pop, tear, rip. And that came with a lot of pain. Instantaneous, just went right through me. Amazing pain. Hey, so what happened next? Well, I had to get to the station, didn't I? So I sort of limped, hopped to the garage, got in the car, went to the station, picked up my partner, shared the news of my experience in the kitchen. And then for the next 3 weeks, I proceeded to self-treat the swelling, because it did swell up quite a bit, and the pain. I did self-treat it with, so my background is in natural therapy, so I did formulate a preparation to assist with that. And it did. However, in week 4, it was still there. So I went off to the GP, which is not something that I'm always fond of doing. But, quite a few people who care about me and love me insisted that I do that. So I did. Had an X-ray and showed nothing, and then had an MRI. And fortunately, in Australia, with our Medicare system, that particular part of the body, the knee, and in this case, a suspected tear in the meniscus, in my meniscus, is covered by Medicare, our healthcare scheme, which is great. So when we got that back, which didn't take too long, about 3 or 4 days, off to the GP I went again, where I was told that yes, there was a significant tear in my medial meniscus, which is, so we have two, one is on the outer part of the knee and one is on the inner part of the knee, and the symptoms also sort of gave him, the GP, an idea that there may have been something else in there, but it wasn't showing up on the MRI, and a surgeon could shed a little bit more light on that. So he needed to make that appointment with the surgeon right then, right there. And I had to go see a surgeon right then, right there. And so I did, and it took me about 40 minutes to get over to my side of Melbourne. So I went to visit my GP, who was on the other side of Melbourne in the Moonee Ponds, actually, if you're from Moonee Ponds, hi. Where they recently moved over to Mernda. So if you are watching and you are from Mernda, hi there. So over to Bundoora I went after the GP and saw the surgeon. So the surgeon confirmed the tear and possible ACL. So that's another, I'm not even sure if I've mentioned ACL in the video so far, but the ACL, which is part of the knee mechanism as well, could also be torn or have some damage to it, but won't know more until we go in there, because he was doing a couple of manual tests on my knee, but I sort of blew the roof off. It was so painful, and he just didn't feel that it was appropriate to continue with that. So anyway, during the appointment, I also shed some light on a previous procedure I had like 20-something years ago, where I had some testing done on my blood because of a family history of bleeding, as in our blood not clotting as well as, most. So with that, he sent me off to have some blood tests, and I had the blood tests, 11 vials in total of blood. And then got back home after that. Of course, they called me and say, oh, we need more. So I had to go back a few days later to give them another 2 little vials of blood, like they didn't have enough already. Significant bruising from the blood test, which is pretty usual for me, but okay. And tomorrow is the 20th of October, and I'm off to my haematology appointment to get the results from those blood tests to see where I'm at as far as what needs to be done pre-op, whether I need some blood products added to my system, like a coagulant to help platelets clot, and stick together and to help me, stop bleeding. So we'll see what happens tomorrow with that. And then it's pretty much about waiting for the actual op on the 28th of October. So I'm going in there. Haven't been given the time yet, but I think it's an overnight at first. So they'll be, giving me my coagulant overnight, and probably in preparation for morning surgery, but I still have to have those details passed on to me, so I'm not sure what's going on. And otherwise, feeling less nervous than I have been feeling over the past couple of weeks about being artificially, put to sleep, forcibly put to sleep with a synthetic drug. So that's okay. I'm dealing with that. I haven't really processed that yet, but I'm just dealing with it. So that's it really. So we'll see what happens with the blood test, and I may, post something there about that, but I'm planning to do a pre post thing and maybe a post-op thing, and see how we go with that. Yeah, so if you do have locking of your knee or jarring, locking or clicking or aches or pain, and they're all connected with the knee, get it checked out, and don't do what I did, and that is just push through it. Especially many years of pushing through it, and I could have changed the outcome by maybe having explored it, but and having said that, I actually have had some further aches and clicking and locking in my left knee. So I suspect that I may be doing this all over again in the near future. I'm going to do my utmost to avoid that by paying more attention in strengthening my knees, and getting back into taking care of myself, nurturing myself, and getting back into yoga and some more physical training. Well, yeah, so I think 11 and a half minutes is plenty. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for joining me here. And stay tuned. Look, if you like, you can give me one of those. It's up to you. Or if you have any info that you could assist me with or shed some more light on this journey, please add that below and let friends know if they have to do so as well. I am going private, and interestingly enough, after all of these years of paying for private health cover, still going to be out of pocket, like close to $1,000 or something, which is just amazing. I just think, how does that happen? But anyway, so this is Australia, and private health. We're sort of cornered into taking it up. But if you live in Australia, you know what I'm talking about, and if not, well then, no. Okay, yes, okay, 12 and a half minutes now. Okay, see ya. Okay, stay tuned, in touch. If you want to connect, subscribe. If not, no problem. Okay, thank you. Ciao.